On December 26th, one of the best traditions in hockey begins again. The 2023 World Juniors are set to begin on Boxing Day, with Finland and Switzerland kicking off the action in Halifax. The World Juniors are always one of the most celebrated events in the sport, as hockey fans get the rare opportunity to watch the international game between the world's best young players and prospects. Ahead of this classic tournament, let's preview and predict what we fans can expect out of the 2023 World Junior Tournament. As per usual, Team Canada is the favorite to win the tournament. The host nation has won 4 of the last 10 and made the finals 7 of the last 10 tournaments. This year is no different. Anything less than a gold medal will be seen as a failure. They are more than capable of getting it done, as their high-end talent is some of the best Canada has ever seen. In their top 6 alone, Team Canada has 3 first overall caliber players: Connor Bedard, Shane Wright, and Adam Fantilli. Shane Wright was of course the consensus number 1 for much of his draft year, before falling to number 4 on draft day. Adam Fantilli is making the push for number 1 this year, but it will be incredibly difficult to overcome the generational talent that is Connor Bedard. Surrounding them are key players like Brennan Othmann, Logan Stankoven, and Dylan Guenther. Othmann and Stankoven returned from last year's team, while Guenther has averaged half a point per game at NHL level this season for the Arizona Coyotes. On the blue line, Olen Zellweger returns, armed with a full tournament's experience as D-man top scorer under his belt. Brent Clark and Kevin Korchinski are 2 more big names on the back end, the 8th and 7th overall picks from the last 2 NHL drafts. Clark is another elite talent with NHL experience, while Korchinski has excelled in the WHL over the past year and a half. Goaltending is usually Canada's biggest concern, and that remains true for this tournament. Neither Thomas Milic or Benjamin Gaudreau are high-end goalies on the level of Jesper Wallstedt or Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen of years past, but both are solid in their own right. Canada's offensive power is unrivaled, but it is the goaltending that will make or break their tournament. The next 3 big nations are all pretty equal in terms of expected placements: USA, Sweden, and Finland. All 3 could easily win the tournament, and yet just as easily miss out on a medal. The US has the biggest group of big names outside of Team Canada. Luke Hughes, Logan Cooley, and Cutter Gauthier were all selected in the top 5 of their respective NHL drafts. Hughes in particular is an immensely exciting talent, as he's performed so well for the University of Michigan that it prompted writer Corey Pronman to select him first overall in a 2021 NHL redraft. USA has a total of 8 returnees from 2022's tournament, with forwards Red Savage and Charlie Stramel, D-men Sean Behrens and Jack Pert, and 2022 starting goalie Caden Rebrecco, all back for round 2. The 2021 tournament champions will be expected to medal, but play hoping for gold. Team Sweden boasts a solid squad as per usual. Perhaps their most exciting player is projected 2023 top pick Leo Carlsson. Carlsson has flown up draft boards this season as he puts together an impressive SHL season, and fans will now have the opportunity to watch him play on the international stage. Carlsson is by no means the only high-end talent that Sweden have, as first-round picks Fabian Lysell, Isaac Rosen, and Jonathan Lekkerimäki are all among the 6 returnees Sweden have for the 2023 tournament. Last year's bronze medalists depended heavily on goaltender Jesper Wallstedt, who has aged out of this year's team. The squad has more than enough talent to weather that loss, but will they be able to manage another podium finish? Finland's junior team is always a well-run system, and that system, along with their high-end talent, took them all the way to overtime of the 2022 World Junior Finals. 2023's team is again padded with lots of talent, spearheaded by returnees Brad Lambert and Joakim Kemell. Lambert nearly made the Winnipeg Jets out of training camp after a fantastic preseason, but has had some struggles in the AHL. Kemell is continuing with JYP in the Liga, now tasked with improving upon his 12-point performance at 2022's World Juniors. Other players to look out for include Aaron Kiviharu, a projected top pick for the 2024 draft, and Oliver Kapanen, a Montreal draft pick who was listed as Finland's top center in their preseason game against the USA. Finland took third place in 2021 and second place in 2022, and they'll be hoping the pattern continues forward in 2023. The best of the rest includes nations such as Czechia and Slovakia, two teams that aren't projected to be medalists but are expected to push the top teams. Czechia could be argued as a top 4 team in the tournament, and it would be easy to see why with the talent they possess. David Jiricek, for one, is going to be one of the best players at the tournament. He's one of few players with any NHL experience and has been tearing it up in the AHL for the Cleveland Monsters. Yuri Kulich and Edward Shala are two of the bigger names on the squad. Kulich was one of the breakout stars of the 2022 World Juniors. Shala will be looking for a similar rise, as he's a top 10 projected pick for the 2023 draft who will be playing in his first World Junior tournament. Slovakia's success is going to be heavily dependent on the second overall pick from 2022, Simon Nemec. Nemec actually led the 2021 Slovakian team in World Junior scoring, but did not participate in 2022's tournament. He'll be their most important piece and should make a push to be named as one of the best defenders and players at the tournament. Exciting names alongside him include Filip Mesar and Dalibor Dvorsky. Mesar was Montreal's 24th overall pick in 2022 and should be one of Slovakia's biggest offensive threats. Dvorsky is yet another top pick for 2023 playing in this year's tournament, and already earned World Juniors experience after playing in 2022's tournament, where he scored once and added an assist in 4 games. Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Latvia are the remaining 4 teams, all of them true underdogs of the tournament, as very few would expect them to push the top teams for a medalist position. Switzerland is probably the best of the bunch, and the only ever medalists of the bunch, earning bronze in 1998. Their squad is led by Leon Bichelle and Brian Zanetti, 2 defensemen selected in separate drafts by Dallas and Philadelphia, respectively. Germany is a hockey nation on the rise, but while German superstars have arrived at the NHL level, the World Junior team is not quite there yet. 2022 German leading scorer Bennett Rossmy returns for this tournament, while Julian Lutz and Hakan Hanolt look to impress the NHL clubs that drafted them over the past 2 years. Austria are led by Vincenz Roher and Ian Scherzer. The older Roher is playing in his first World Juniors tournament, while Scherzer participated in and led scoring for Austria in 2022. Latvia are the final team participating in this year's World Juniors. They have 3 NHL rostered players in Sandis Vilmanis, Klavs Weinbergs, and Dan Slukminas. Second top scorer from 2022, Gert Silkanis, returns to this year's team and will help push to cause an upset. In examining every roster ahead of the World Juniors, it's hard not to go with Team Canada as the predicted winners. The top 6 is absurdly good. The defense is incredibly strong, and while the goaltending is not perfect, the pure talent of the skaters should be enough to overcome it. However, this really is a unique tournament. Canada has, in my opinion, the best roster, but the best defensemen could very well belong to USA or Slovakia with Hughes and Nemec. The top scorer could very well belong to Finland with Joakim Kemell, who scored the second most points in the 2022 tournament. Maybe not every roster is equal in terms of talent, but almost every nation has players worth watching. The World Juniors provide an opportunity for players to boost their stock, either for their NHL clubs or ahead of their respective drafts. It provides the opportunity for fans to watch iconic moments, to watch legends be created, and players to build everlasting legacies before they even turn 20 years old. It's happened with Peter Forsberg. It's happened with Jordan Eberle. And now, it's somebody else's turn.